We are back in the lobby. We are milking Dr. Kevin Leman, acclaimed psychologist and award-winning.
Where's the ice cream?
Not your turn, Abu. Not ice
Where's
cream
the
time
ice
yet.
cream?
Mind your manners. Dr. Leman is giving us great advice. We've got all the kids wrangled up here. I know he needs a couple of interventions. But first, I want to talk about your school, your Academy for Excellence.
Right, Leman Academy for Excellence. We've hit it out of the park, so to speak. We have 3 schools now. We'll be up to 6 schools by 18, but the good news is we just got approval of our online, so it's possible, especially if you're all those homeschooling moms who might be sick of homeschooling, you could actually be virtually in our classroom starting this summer. So for information,
That's nice.
LemanAcademy.com, and we rock and roll. It's been so much fun. It keeps me young.
We'll be interested when it goes to boarding school. You let me know that.
One thing Dr. Leman didn't bring with him was ether cloths. And I think I may have been able to use those this morning, but I don't want to point fingers.
So I know April and Gina have some questions for you, Dr. Leman.
Oh, bless
you, Charlie.
Yeah, so my question is about some sibling rivalry. My 4 and 7-year-olds here, they love each other so much. I mean, we have bunk beds, but they share one bed. But then during the day, I mean, they are at each other's throats nonstop. I know that's kind of normal, but what do I say? I mean, when I spend half of the afternoon, most of the afternoon, just constantly trying to get them to stop bickering.
Boys, number one, they're like otters on a stream. They're always doing something. I quote myself, we've seen the enemy and they are small. And they know exactly how to work you. And so one thing I don't want parents to do is go in and try to figure out who did it, who started it.
Okay.
Because fighting is what? It's an act of cooperation. And that's what parents miss. So when 2 kids are going after it, they're verbal pawing at each other. They're trying to needlessly draw you into their problem. So sometimes what you have to do is wipe the child's nose. No, sometimes what you have to do is take both kids by the arm, put them outside, close the door, lock it, make yourself a cup of tea, and chill. And the best discipline for kids this age is, mommy is very unhappy. Give them the look, turn your back, and walk away. At that point, you've raked coals over those kids.
You call that going on strike, right?
Well, going on strike is, mommy, I want a cookie. Honey, I don't feel like getting you a cookie right now. Turn your back, walk out of the room. They'll freak out. They'll come after you.
So you're saying as long as they're safe, I just let them work it out and let them keep bickering?
Well, and remember, you represent, April, all of womanhood to these young guys, okay? So you never take their mouth, you never take their disrespect. The look is mighty powerful thing from mom, okay? And then you follow it through with action. Worst comes to worst, I mean, what parent hasn't felt like UPSing his kid to a far-off land? You can't do that, but be an authority without being an authoritarian. That's the key.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Leman, my kiddos are a little bit older. I've got an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. With my 11-year-old, we're on the verge of tweenhood, and my question is about technology. Where do you draw the line, or how do you balance trusting them, but also monitoring what's going on the phone, on the iPad?
In this day and age, I vote on being a little on the nosy side. There's too many things that kids can get into. And by the way, at age 11, they really start getting weird.
Taylor?
I mean,
They're not weird.
they roll their eyes. You never do this. You never let me do that. Again, don't be hoodwinked by them. They need you involved in their life in a healthy way. Don't overdo it. Don't underdo it. I wrote a book called Planet Middle School, which deals with the hormone group. And like I say, at 11, he's actually a teenager these days. The kids grew up so darn fast. But with one touch of a button, I call the cell phone, the iPhone, the new Goliath. And you're not going to beat this Goliath. This Goliath is here to stay.
Sure.
But giving kids too much screen time, too much tech is not good for kids. Creativity, with parents with young kids, this age, boxes, although this guy likes football, little boxes and things where the kids can create on their own are much healthier than buying something that they made in China that's going to break and has lots of parts and hurt your feet as a parent.
That's so true. Darn you, Legos. Dr. Leman, thank you so much. It's so great to see
You're
you.
welcome.
The nature of your questions on Facebook Live, were they more family or more hubby and wife relations?
Good questions. They were mostly boys. And by the way, I got a brand new book out, a new sex book called Have a New Sex Life by Friday. And That's what happens if you read Leman books about having a new sex life by Friday. You've seen it here. Think before you park there.
Dr. Leman, thank you so much. And then the next book, you got another book coming out, I think, in the fall about
We do.
education. We hope that you'll come back to
Education
talk
book, yeah.
about that as well. Let's head on into Scott.
What do you say?
He is so excellent. He's so fun to listen to. Thank you, guys.